and there's so much just going through my mind as I talk to you guys, because this isn't scripted. You know, we kind of had a little script going, some questions, but you all have done far better than I could ever have prepared for. But I do want to ask you this, Dr. Brown, when it comes to your business, and we've talked about being humble and humility and all that. Your rise in your former business, you being, if I'm not mistaken, the first African-American millionaire in a particular company. How did you get there? What did you do? And what were the steps you took to get there? I guess that would be the question.
Yeah, let me say this. I'm gonna do my part brief. I'm gonna bring Marvin Bishop back for this, right? I love this part here. Here's how I got there. I retired from the military in 2000. After 20 years of military, I was making about $6,000 a month in the military where I retired. When I retired, my income, my retirement pay went from $6,000 to about $1,500. Figure that part out now, right? Brand new,
big drop.
big drop, right? I had 2 homes, had a condo, had cars, had everything, right? I joined a network marketing company called Excel Communications in 2000. When I started doing that business, they messed up my pay for 6 months with the company, with the military. My disability messed it all up. Nevertheless, they get paid. And so here's how I got to the top of that company. I became the first African-American presidential ambassador in the history of the company. Here's how I got there. In 2000, when I started doing that network marketing business full time, and my money was cut and I was trying to get it done, I lost my house, I lost my car, I lost a dog, I filed bankruptcy. Did all that, man. But I was determined to stay the course, right? Something Mr. Bishop said is not what happened to you, what you're gonna do about it. See that? So I want you to hear me close on this now. I'm giving you the secret to achievement at the level beyond your greatest imagination. I learned this from Jesus Christ. So watch this. I got this one, nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done. So nevertheless, and so I kept working that business, man. And I could give you the steps and some of the things that I did, how I made phone calls, how I talked to people, how I built, but that's not really how I did it. I did those steps, but how I did it was this. I stayed with it and didn't quit, regardless of what happened. See that? And so by 2004, it's 2004 years later, 2004, I was going across the stage in September 2004, getting a $75,000 check on stage, getting this big diamond ring out of my finger right here. I had just become the number 31 top money earner in Excel Communication out of 3 million people. I was number 31. Isn't that amazing? Made $1 million+ right? But watch this. That was September 2004. September, October, November. 2 months later, at the top of that company shut down. I cashed that check real quick, right? And watch this. Now that company, Excel, shut down, man. I got to the top, but the whole company shut down. Isn't that something? I can buy any house I want, any car I want, everything, but now my pay was completely cut off. Finally got to the top. And so when that happened, what did I do? I trusted God with all my heart, didn't lean to my own understanding. My wife said we would excel. 9 days later, I joined a company called Fortune High Tech Marketing 9 days later. Isn't that something? I joined Fortune now and went to the top of that company from 2004 to 2013, went to the top of that company, became the first African-American millionaire, became the first African-American presidential ambassador, won 4 cars, a BMW and 3 Lexus, right? Got the Rolex watch, got all the fancy stuff. And in February 2013, that company shut down. Wow. See that? And guess what I did then? And then for 2 months, didn't have no company, didn't have no pay, didn't have no team, didn't have anything. But I started doing conference calls with Marvin Bishop that talked about the set of the sail. And he talked about storms. He trained on storms, right? Now watch this. The same God that put you in the womb, the same God that said, I know the thoughts I have towards you, thoughts of good, not of evil. The same God that said all things work together for your good. And I'm going through all these storms, man. Whole company shut down. And then 2 months later, I joined ZJ International, where I am right now, nutritional company. And now I'm at the top of that company. Isn't that something?
Wow.
Folks, I'm not here to be a part. I'm here to dominate the whole industry now. Why? Because I'm saved. I want to be for ministry. So I said all that to say this. How did I get to the top? I learned the lesson. In every storm, Mr. Bishop, can you talk about that? And I'm through. I'm not through, but go ahead, Mr. Bishop.
Well, Dr. Brown, your story is what we teach, what we found out from working with companies all across this country and some of the high achievers is that success is about
That's it.
But people, you know, the eagle, the most emulated creature on this planet, the eagle flies into the storm. That's where the eagle develops some awesome characteristic. But people, it's our natural habit to run from the storm. And the reason why we run is because we don't know that God said, I will always put, not sometimes, always put an equal or greater benefit in the storm. But that's if you look. So if you're running, you're not looking. So for a lot of us who run, we're running from our blessing. And see, God also say all success will leave clues. Well, where did God put the rainbow? He put it on the other side of the storm. There's no storm, there's no rainbow. And so I say that to tell folks, if you're going through something, give thanks. And stop running and take time, marinate in it, and find your blessing, equal or even greater. And remember this about storms, guys. Either you're in a storm, just left the storm, or you're on the way to the storm. That's all it is. It's always those three.
Wow. And with that being said, Pastor Tony, that's how I got to the top. I looked inside of every storm and excelled. When it went down, my wife said we were excelled into our fortune. See that? Isn't that amazing, right? And so, guys, I'm telling you, to get to the top of anything, right, be able to understand that those storms are a part of life, man. But the key is this. Here's the alignment now. I'm going to leave with this. Here's alignment. The alignment is this. Jesus said, let us go to the other side, right? And that was a word. It was a solid word. And when he said that, they were going to the other side regardless of what. But on the way to the other side, they went through a storm. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. You see that? But the key was this, right? If they would have stayed lined up, that's why Jesus said, where's your faith? See that? Where's your faith? He said, if I said it, it's solid, it's done, it's already done, it's finished. You go to the other side. So bottom line is this, right? Even in that storm, he was able to say, peace be still, and make the wind and the sea line up with what God already said. We're going to the other side. So I'm telling you right now, no matter what you're doing on the way to the top, right, understand this, that storms is a part of life. If you can line up with God and keep on having faith, even in the midst of the storm, that's how you get to the top. Even when you don't feel God, with all your five senses, your sight, your taste, your hearing, your feel, when you can't feel God, taste God, see God, trace God, no matter what, still trust God. I'm telling you guys, that's the real key. Don't back down, man, no matter what it looked like. Mother said it best. Don't look with your eyes. Close your eyes and see this, man. I'm telling you, because when God said all things, he meant all things. Work together for your good. So anyway, man, I want to share that. Now, I got techniques, Tony, Pastor Tony. I got skills on inviting people to look. I got skills on building business. But I'll be honest with you, man, the how don't matter when the why is strong enough. And I mean that too. When your why is, what that means is when you know what you want and you're willing to pay the price in full. And here's the great news. And when you know when God told you, and you know it's what God told you, right? The how don't matter, man. That's God's stuff there. He did with that part.
Well, that was actually part of the trailer. I hear echo that I used to introduce this webinar or this show. I found one of your videos where you talked about your why, and so I know we've taken up a lot of your time, but I want to just ask you this real quickly before we go. You are also CEO of a record label, and your wife is your star client. Share with our listeners or our viewers a little information about your wife and what you're doing as you, again, the two of you work together.
Yeah, Pastor, I truly thank God for that, man. And that CD is a prophetic CD. It's one of the most powerful CDs in the industry. I'm going to be featured on the show called It's Supernatural with Sid Roth.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the CD, the entire CD is a supernatural word from God, right? And it starts off with a song. The whole CD is based on a song called Manifestation Praise. It's already done.
Okay.
It's already done. See that? Even before the founders in the world, it's already done. And all 9 songs came from God. Even one song that's called the worship song.